Good evening. Isaac Boros here again. You're getting a lot of me this week. Today is Tuesday, the 27th of October. We've been under a lot of stress the last few months, and so I thought I would share with you an essay by one of my favorite authors, Frederick Buechner. Buechner was born in 1926 and is still alive. That makes him 94 years old. He and I once exchanged letters because his wife and he were supporters of the Fund for Peace, where I worked for 5 years. And I wrote him a thank you note, and he wrote back and said, "It's not me, it's my wife." And so anyway, here we go. This is from his book, Peculiar Treasures, in which he catalogs various characters from the scriptures. Sarah's laughter. Quantitatively speaking, you don't find all that much laughter in the Bible. But qualitatively, there's nothing quite like it to be found anywhere else. There are a couple of chapters in the book of Genesis that positively shake with it. Sarah was never going to see 90 again, and Abraham had already hit 100. And when the angel told them that the stork was on its way at last, they both of them almost collapsed. Abraham laughed till he fell on his face, Genesis 17:17. And Sarah stood cackling behind the tent door, so the angel wouldn't think she was being rude, as the tears streamed down her cheeks. When the baby finally came, they even called him Laughter, which is what Isaac means in Hebrew, because obviously no other name would do. Laughter mixed up in the Bible. Laughter gets mixed up with all sorts of things in the Bible and in the world too. Things like sneering, irony, making fun of, and beating the competition hollow. But it also gets mixed up with things like comedians and slipping on banana peels and having the soles of your feet tickled. There are times when you laugh to keep from crying, like when the old wino staggers home in a party hat, or even in the midst of crying, like when Charlie Chaplin boils his shoe for supper because he's starving to death. But 100% bonded, aged-in-the-wood laughter is something else again. Making merry till the cows come home. It's the crazy parrot squawks that issue out of David as he spins like a top in front of the ark. 2 Samuel 6:16-21. It's what the Psalms are talking about, where they say, "When the Lord had rescued Zion, then our mouth was filled with laughter." Psalm 126, 1 and 2. Or where they get so excited they yell out, "Let the floods clap their hands, let the hills sing for joy together, because the Lord has come through at last." Psalm 98, verse 8. It's what the Lord himself is talking about when he says that on the day he laid the cornerstone of the earth, the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy. Job 38, verse 7. And it's what the rafters rang with when the prodigal comes home and his old crock of a father is so glad to see him, he almost has a stroke. And they began to make merry and kept on making merry till the cows came home. Luke 15:24. Blessed laughter. It's what Jesus means when he stands in that crowd of cripples and loners and oddballs and factory rejects and said, "Blessed are you that weep now, for you shall laugh." Luke 6:21. Nobody claims there's a chuckle on every page, but laughter is what the whole Bible is really about. Nobody who knows his hat from home plate claims that getting mixed up with God is all sweetness and light. But ultimately, it's what that's all about too. Ecstatic laughter. Sarah and her husband had plenty of hard knocks in their time, and there were plenty more of them still to come. But at that moment, when the angel told them they'd better start dipping into their old age pensions for cash to build a nursery, the reason they laughed was that it suddenly dawned on them that the wildest dreams that they'd ever had hadn't been half wild enough. I wish you a pleasant evening.